Hey, Bruce Naylor here. Welcome to Coffee Break. I think today's going to be kind of a fun video. This is more of a response video, maybe. I don't know. I saw a video from Paul at PS Audio talking about speakers versus headphones. He was responding to a viewer email, and the bottom line was, just to quickly summarize, Paul is more of a speaker guy, and he'll admit that right off the bat. Probably because he sells, loudspeakers and makes them, but also because of personal preferences. In other words, Paul felt that listening to music on speakers was more visceral, it's more physical, impactful than listening on headphones, whereas headphones was more intimate, as he put it, and more useful for critical listening. So I thought we would take just a little bit of time to talk about some of these different points between the two that maybe some of us never really thought about, or if you're kind of new to the hobby, something to consider. But definitely I'm excited to see in your comments what you prefer and why. So let's talk about, well, a couple of his points: immersion and soundstage. There is no doubt in my mind, and I've reviewed many headphones, mostly HIFIMAN planars, but other brands as well. And I agree with Paul. I think headphones are a more intimate listening experience. Why do I prefer headphones for critical listening? Because I take the room out of the equation. I take room acoustics, out of the equation. I take distractions pretty much out of the equations, and I'm hearing the fine detail. I've got those drivers so close to my ears, and that's why it's more intimate. But during the day, most of the time when I'm listening to background music or just want to enjoy myself and not really think about it, yeah, definitely I'm a speaker guy for the most part. Don't get me wrong, I love my cans, but there's a time and place for these and a time and place for my speakers. Benefit of speakers over headphones is sound stage. You have this wider sound stage with speakers. It's just the way it is. And as far as the physicality, speakers can deliver much deeper bass than headphones. Now these do a pretty good job, but yeah, I think speakers for the win, especially if you pair them with the subwoofer, right? You're going to get that. So you get this nice big sound stage that you just can't get with headphones. Typically, with headphones, the sound stage and imaging is all going to be pretty much centered like in the middle of your head. At least that's been my experience. Whereas with speakers, the music tends to spread out. Sound comes from maybe different places in the room. It's pretty doggone cool. But again, if I'm doing critical listening, such as I'm reviewing, say, DACs, headphone amps, that kind of thing, or even some music, then I'm going to go with headphones. Sound quality, let's talk about that a little bit. You can buy relatively inexpensive headphones and get way better sound than you could from similarly priced loudspeakers. That's my opinion. And you have to spend a lot more money on speakers to get anywhere close to the sound quality of a lot of, decently priced headphones. Sound quality, because you have these drivers, right? There's dynamic drivers, and maybe they use I have a hard time pronouncing the word, like neodymium magnets and so forth. They can get you sound that would just knock your socks off. They really can. And because you got them so close to your ear, you're hearing all those little intimate details. Let's face it, the world is noisy. Your room can be noisy. The world around you is noisy. So with loudspeakers some of that stuff, music may be muffled, masked. You just don't really hear the detail like you would with headphones. As I said, loudspeakers can have really big bass drivers. They can have horns. They can have all these advantages over headphones as far as that physical feeling of the music, that impact of the music, as well as the sound stage being much larger. And of course, there's many different speakers at all kinds of different price points, at different types of materials that they're made out of, and configurations. So you can obviously find speakers that I think would equal or rival some headphones, but they're going to cost you. When it comes to things like being practical and being convenient, I think that is where headphones, and when I say headphones, I can also be talking about IEMs and earbuds. But when it comes to things like convenience, how are you going to beat those? How's loudspeakers going to be? They're not. Because take these for example. These are the Edifier Stax S5. Yeah, these are a wireless Bluetooth. Well, you can use a wired or wireless Bluetooth, and they're planar magnetic, and they sound absolutely amazing. But they're wireless. They can be run wireless, and they sound absolutely phenomenal. And I can carry them around. I can, they're portable. They can fold up. Got a travel bag for them, take them with me. I can't do that with my Wharfdale Lintons. That ain't going to happen. So that's the convenience. Earbuds, convenient. Walk around, you're going for a walk, jogging to the gym, whatever, take it with the convenience. What about then the practicality of speakers? Well, think about this. Speakers allow you to do some amazing things. For example, say surround sound, Dolby Atmos. You can do some amazing stuff with loudspeakers and those kind of configurations. You can really get that impactful, powerful sound with loudspeakers that you're just simply not going to get with headphones. So if you're looking convenience, definitely headphones is the way to go. Headphones, earbuds, etc., IEMs. Now, if you're looking for impact, if you're looking to socialize with a group of people and you want to share that musical experience, there's no better way to do it than with the loudspeaker. One thing that loudspeakers don't have is active noise cancellation. And that's a big one. As I said earlier, it's a noisy world out there. In my case, I won't get into it, but let's put it this way. My home can get quite noisy at times. And if I want to play my speakers, my music loud, like shaking the house, I've got a wife that's going to come here and go, what the heck are you doing? Turn that stuff down. That's why when I really want to rock out at times, I really want to get into music, I'll put on my headphones and crank up the volume that way. Not to a dangerous level. I don't want to damage my hearing, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's just summarize it this way. Headphones have the convenience factor. They have the ability to also have things like active noise cancellation, Bluetooth connectivity. They can be used wired or wireless. Generally speaking, I think for the amount of investment, money budget-wise, you're going to get far better sound at certain price points with a headphone than you would have equally priced loudspeaker. Also, I want to bring this up. There's more and more stuff coming out in surround sound, Atmos type surround, and more headphone manufacturers are building those advanced sound processing capabilities into the phones. And yeah, maybe some powered speakers as well. So ultimately, it's about the convenience. Or if you want that intimate sound, you want the very detailed listening. Again, headphones, I think, has the advantage over speakers. So what about speakers over headphones? No doubt about it. There's nothing, in my opinion, more fun than getting a group of folks together at a party or whatever and putting on some great music and having a good time. And the only way you're going to do that is with speakers. And hopefully you're going to have some good ones and you're going to have some great sound. That's part of it. Or if you're just more of a speaker person, it ultimately boils down to personal preferences, but I think you get the idea. So all that being said, now you know where I'm coming from, Paul. I think you're right, but I wanted to elaborate on certain things. But I want to hear what you've got to say in the comments down below. Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Consumer, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.